What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you are a first timer, then welcome to the channel. This is your watch list for Friday, November 18th. We call it Lotto Friday. We call it that because the options are expiring on that same day. They move very quickly. They move very fast. A lot of potential for a lot of big money. Also a lot of potential to lose money, so you have to be careful. That is why they call it Lotto Friday. This is the watch list. And in this edition of this video, guys, at the very end of this video, I'm going to give you the top 5 plays that I've picked out for Lotto Friday. It's the top 5 that I give out to all of the Griswold Gold members every single day. It's part of their membership, what they get with it, along with a 1-hour strat course, one-on-ones with myself, group chats with myself and the other gold members, access to the live trading bots, sends out live trades to you guys as they happen, live setup, so you guys can just see them and go to that trade and jump in on them, as well as the strat indicator. Let's get started on this list. I'm going to tell you guys this. Thank you guys for letting those ads roll through. Those ads pay for this stuff to be free for you guys. And I put these out for you guys for free every single day, along with all of the learning tool videos that I have on this channel. The other thing I just want to say real quickly is that the screen that you see in front of you, that's TradingView. And in the description below, there's a link to get you a free 30-day trial to their subscription-based services. So if you click on that link, it'll get you your free 30 days. And then if you decide to use their sub-service, their subscription service, you get up to $30 off of that subscription. So make sure you're checking out that link, getting in on the free 30 days for TradingView. Let's get started on this list. The first one I've got on here for you guys is Apple. Okay, so Apple has an outside bar. I don't normally play off of outside bars, but Apple has, on the daily, on the weekly so far, we are 2 up on the week. We're green on the quarterly. I'm going to look for a continuation here for Apple into Friday. So I'm going to look for calls at 151.48 as a trigger. Now, I'm not looking for that as the strike price. That is our trigger price. So once the new candle opens up and we break above that trigger, then you can buy your calls. And for me, when I'm buying those calls, I'm looking at strike prices of, if it's 151.48, I'm probably looking at a 152 strike price with a Friday expiry. Now, you guys don't have to play that Friday expiry. You can play next Friday's expiry. That's completely fine. There's no problems with that. I like to play the closest expiry, okay? You guys don't have to do that. And then I like to take the closest to the strike price, or the closest to the trigger price. That's the strike that I like to play. So 152 in the case of Apple, and we're going to look for this to break to the upside. We'll go to Starbucks. Starbucks has a 2 down that finished green. Okay, so when we have this, and I'll talk about this in every video, a 2 down is a bar that only breaks to the downside of the previous bar. So this bar only breaks the low of the previous bar. So we have a 2 down. But when we have a 2 down and it's not red, it finishes green, that gives me higher probability that this trade is going to head back up in the chart. So when I have that, we're going to look for calls, and we're going to look for calls at 97.01. Here's the prices that I'm calling out on the right-hand side here, and the first target is at 97.96. So that's almost a $1 move, which is really good. It's what I say, there's meat on the bones. There's a little bit of space between the trigger and the target, and that's what I like to see when I'm looking for a trade. So a 2 down, finish green, gives us a higher probability that this thing is going to trend back to the upside. And when I say probability, guys, every trade we look at, every candlestick setup that we look at, every trade that we look at is based off of probabilities, because we don't know what this next candle is going to be. We don't. It could be a 2 down, it could be a 2 up, it could stay inside. We don't know, but we're gonna play what we see. So when we're talking about probabilities, this is a high probability play. Yes. Is it going to necessarily work out? No. And that's where the risk comes in. So when there's probability, there's risk. And the best traders, and I talk about this in the one-on-ones all the time, whether they're through the Griswold Gold members or you book them separately, I talk to them about this all the time and the risk management of a trade. And the better you are at managing your risk, managing your capital, cutting your losses, the better trader you'll become. And I don't care if you cut 6 trades in a row at a 10% loss, you're going to catch a 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% play. Okay? There's plenty of opportunity for you to let the candlesticks run with your trade in the right direction to get you big gains if you're cutting your losses and keeping them small. And I know it's really hard to do, and people tend to do the opposite. We cut our winners and hold on to our losers. And the reason is, it's very simple, and we should be doing the opposite, but it's very simple. When we have a loser, we're looking to, we're hoping that thing's going to go back and we get a little bit of green, a little bit of a gain. Okay? Most times it doesn't happen. And when we're green, because we've held our losers so many times, we see a little 5 or 10% win and we cut it at 10%. We don't let the candle stop us out because, well, I'm finally green, I better take my money. And that's where traders fail. Okay, we're doing a 180 of what we're supposed to be doing, where we let our winners run and let the candlesticks stop us out, and we cut our losers and let the candlesticks stop us out. Okay, so it's a simple concept, but it's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp, and it's going to take some time, but you guys will get there. Just keep on pursuing what we're doing here and what we're teaching here on this channel. So that was Starbucks. We're going to move on to Netflix. And if you missed it at the beginning, I will be giving out the top 5 plays at the end of this video. I don't usually do it. I will do it for Lotto Friday, okay? Netflix has a 2 down finish green. We're going to look for calls. We're going to look for triggers at 299.82. So again, once we break through that trigger, then we can look for our strike price of 300, 301, 302, whatever it might be. Now, normally, guys, this target goes to the top of the candles when we're looking at a ticker trending to the upside, or we're looking at call options. But because we have this gap, see how there's no candle in between these two here? We gap down. Well, when we have that gap, the first target becomes that gap fill, so the bottom of the candle. Okay, and it's vice versa when we have the gap to the upside, and we're looking for a trend down, the top of the candle of the gap fill. So if we see one, I'll go through it, but to fill this gap, this becomes our first target, and then your next target becomes the top of that same candle. Okay, so this is a 1-2-2 Rev Strat, and realistically, it's just a 2-2 reversal, but it's got a 1 in front of it. So a 1-2-2 Rev Strat, we're going to look for calls, like I said, triggered at 299.82. American Airlines, AAL. So AAL, same thing, 2 down green. This is a bit of a hammer candle. So there's 3 actionable signals when we're discussing the strat, meaning they're high probability plays. And we look at them as a hammer candle where we have this body with a long wick at the bottom, looks like a hammer. 2 is an inside bar, 3 is a shooter candle, which you would see right here, this red candle with the body at the bottom and the wick at the top, or an inverse hammer. So we have a hammer candle here. It's an ugly looking one, but we can call it that. And we also had a 2 down that finished green. So a high probability play. Back to the upside, we're going to look for calls at 14.02, and really, really good magnitude up to the upside on this one. A lot of room for it to move. So AAL, American Airlines, looks like a decent setup for Friday. AFRM, same thing, 2 down, finish green. We're going to look for calls at $14.82. That's on AFRM. AMC, 2 down green, hammer candle. We're going to look for calls on AMC at $7.42. First target or first order of magnitude at $7.80. You can also say this is where the bears have their stop losses. They all mean the same things realistically, okay? So calls at 742, first target at 780 on AMC. And guys, if you're struggling with these day trade setups, I want you guys to move into intraday stuff and start looking at, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 30-minute time frame, and start playing the setups on those. And again, those setups get sent out in the live trading bot room for the Griswold Gold members, so just keep that in mind. Or you can look for them yourselves, and that's perfectly fine too. But look for those setups. And if you want to concentrate on just one, concentrate on 2-2 reversals, concentrate on inside bars, but make sure you're trading with time frame continuity. Now, this is part of the Griswold Strat indicator. I like to see the hour and the day in the same direction if I'm making that trade, and anything else is a bonus. Just meaning that it's a higher grade trade, higher probability trade, the more we have in the same direction. the more charts we have in the same direction. Okay, so hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, etc. So we're looking for the calls on, like I said, on AMC, strike price or trigger price at $7.42. BA is next. That's Boeing. Boeing has a 2 down green as well, so we'll look for calls on Boeing here at 173.15. That's that yellow marker there. Our first target is the green marker up above at 174.79, and that purple line is for us to go 2 up on the quarterly, which we did late last week. So we're 2 up on the quarterly chart. We are green on the month. We're green on the day as of today. The week is obviously not green. We wouldn't be green on the week until, what do we have? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, until we broke way up here. So still a good trade to look at, though, for Boeing on the daily chart. BAC, that's Bank of America, 2 down green, hammer candle, great time frame continuity to the upside. So we can look for calls on BAC at 37.20 and good magnitude up to the upside. 54-cent move at 37.74 on BAC. Guys, if you like this stuff, make sure you give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe and then hit the bell. The bell sends out the notifications for when these videos go out, so you have them, you know they come out, you can go watch them, okay? What do we have here? Citigroup, ticker symbol C. Time frame continuity looks good outside of the week and the year. We can look for calls at 48.26. And again, good magnitude to the upside to that first target at 48.96 on Citigroup. Carnival Cruise Lines, 2 down green, hammer candle. Calls at 9.57, first target at 9.82. And listen, guys, if things gap up in the morning, and what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, CCL opens up here, okay? We open above that trigger. Well, then you want to play a gap play. And in order to know how to do those, at the end of this video, in the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a playlist on how to play those gap lists, okay? So make sure you guys go check that out if you don't know how to play morning gaps. DraftKings, 2 down green. We're going to look for calls on DKNG at 15.19. We are 2 up on the week already. That's what that pink line is. We've moved above it. So calls at 15.19 and first targets. They're not marked out, but we can do it together right there at $15.42 on DKNG. Ticker symbol F is Ford. My buddy Fix It Phil loves Ford. He plays it all the time. 2 down, finish green. We're going to look for calls at 13.91 on Ford. Lucid, LCID, 2 down green. We can call that a hammer candle. Good magnitude to the upside. Almost $1 move is what we're looking at there. Calls at $11.46. Plug Power, 2 down green. And guys, there was a ton of 2 down green setups. You can go look at almost any ticker symbol and you're looking at an outside bar or a 2 down green. Now, I couldn't put all of them on here because this video would go for like 40 minutes. So there are a bunch of the majority of the ones that I like to look at, including Plug, calls at 16.53, first target at 17.50, another $1 move on Plug Power. That looks good. And here's the thing, guys. We don't have to hit these targets. The way I do these trades is I look for these triggers. If it triggers, I hop down to a smaller time frame and manage the trade on that smaller time frame. So whether that's on the 5, the 15, the 30, the hourly, however you guys want to do it, I manage my trades on a smaller time frame. Now, you don't have to. You can use this down here as your stop loss. You can use the 50% marker as your stop loss. And the Griswold Strat indicator that I've created and comes with the Griswold Gold membership includes the 50% markers that Sarah Strat Sniper has talked about before on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. So that's part of the indicator that I created for you guys. XOM has a 2 down that finished green, and I like this one. It's got full time frame continuity to the upside. All green right across the board. We can look for calls on this at 113.20. Good magnitude up at 114.26 on XOM. Okay, guys, this is what you've been waiting for. We're going to go through the top 5 here, okay? So the top 5 plays that I've got lined up for you guys. Let's take a look at them. So the first one on the list, we've got NEO. So I've always said if NEO has a nice setup on it, it would be on my top 5. Okay, so I like NEO because NEO tends to go on really, really big runs, like 5, 6, 7, 8% on common share runs, which is a heck of a run on option plays. So Neo, we're at the bottom of a broadening formation right here. We've got a 2 down green, which again gives me a probability back to the upside, and we can look for calls at 1072, meaning we have a trigger price, or sorry, a strike price of $11, maybe $11.50. Okay, so trigger price at 1072, and we're going to look for calls on Neo. So that's 1 of 5, 2 of 5. I've got SPY, and again, if SPY has a nice setup, it will be on my top 5. So SPY's got a 2 down green. We're going to look for calls at 394.95. First targets at 397.78. That's what we're looking at on SPY. Next up, we've got Chewy. This is the 3rd of 5. Chewy's got an inside bar. Let's discuss inside bars if you're new. Okay, inside bars or 1 bars. You notice these numbers? That's part of the Griswold Strat indicator. Part of the Griswold Gold membership, or you can purchase it separately, a one-time fee. That link is in the description below for you guys. Inside bars, guys, they're the easiest thing that I tell newcomers or people who are struggling to play. Okay, if we trend to the upside, we've got full time frame continuity. But this inside bar, it doesn't break the high and it does not break the low of the previous candle. It stays within the range. It's a consolidating range, so it looks like this. Okay, and when we have something that looks like this, what do you notice? It's squeezing. It's getting lower, 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 and we're looking for a breakout to one side or the other of that inside bar, and we're looking for a big run. And if you think of these inside bars, and the yellow is part of the Griswold Strat indicator, it gives you those that color on it, so you see them easily. If we look at past inside bars, we see that we tend to have these nice little runs on them. They tend to work out really well, and they don't always work out well. This was a gap play. It opened down here, so it wouldn't have worked the way we wanted it to, but here's one that looks pretty close to opening at the same spot. We had a nice run down. Okay, that was off of a double inside bar. Here's another one, a nice run down. Here's another one. We had a nice run up for 4 straight days. We had a great run up. Okay, so inside bars are high probability plays. They're an actionable signal when we're talking about the Strat. We are at the top of a broadening formation, so that's something also that we want to be aware of. And we'll see how this one plays out. We can take calls at $41.68, puts at $40.13, and that's your second target. I do mention to guys, be very, very careful, because this isn't great magnitude from here to here. And a lot of times what happens is, and if you go check out CVS from yesterday, from Wednesday, I believe it was, what happened on CVS was we opened, on CVS, we opened, we hit the trigger, we hit targets, we only came down to about there, and we reversed. Okay, and it ended up going outside bar, but we never saw that target again. It never came back. So that's why this stuff that doesn't have great magnitude, like a lot of room from the trigger to the target, are not saying that they can't be better trades, but you just have to be aware that if it reverses through that target, you might want to take your profits, and if it ends up running, it ends up running. But just be very cautious of that if it reverses back through that target that you guys are looking at, okay? Go back and watch the review at the end of the video from the 17th video, November 17th. At the end of that video, I go through it, so go check that out. Next up, we've got Home Depot. So Home Depot I normally don't have on here because there's 2 reasons. So number 1, Home Depot has high premiums, so a lot of people with the smaller accounts can't really trade it. Number 2, the spreads are not great on it. But we do have a double inside bar, and double inside bars tend to show up really well and do really well. So normally this is a double blue highlight here, part of the Griswold Strat indicator, but because we had this outside inside bar, the blue gets skewed and turns silver. So if we go back in time and try and find the last time we had a double inside bar, they are so rare. Here is the last one. Okay, you see that blue highlight there? It was easy to find. We've got the 2 inside bars right here, and look what happens. The candlesticks told you this was going to happen, and most of the time they tell the truth. We triggered off of this inside bar and we hit targets all the way up. This was a great run that we had off of that double inside bar on Home Depot. Looks like back in May. So if we go to try find one more, like they're just not there, guys. They just don't happen very often. So when we see them, I really like to look at them, and they have potential for really, really big gains. So here's another one. This one we have to go all the way back to March of 21. Okay? So here, double inside bar, we triggered, and we hit target. So another winning trade on that double inside bar. So this is what we're looking at here. Calls at 313.68, puts at 306.15. We can mark out the targets, target 1, target 2, and there you go. That is your Home Depot setup. And the last one I'm going to go through, guys, here is Walmart. Walmart, okay, we've got full time frame continuity to the upside. We've got a 2 down that finished green. We have a 1-2-2 rev strat, 1, 2 down, 2 up reversal. We've got good magnitude to the upside. A lot of things pushing in the right direction. We're all green right across the board. Time frame continuity. Calls at 148.73. We can look for a 149 strike, a 150 strike. First target 150.20. Guys, if you like what I'm doing here, give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. If you're making gains, let me know. Tell me what you're making gains on. The other thing I didn't mention is, maybe I did, the Griswold Trading Discord. That link is in the description below. Get in on that Discord. 95% of it's free, 5% of it's paid, but everything that I offer for free or fee-based can be found in that room or on my pinned tweet in Twitter, okay? So thank you guys. Good luck on Lotto Friday. I wish you nothing but the best. Have a wicked good weekend. Good luck trading, guys. If you did really well this week, make sure you hold on to some of those profits. Don't YOLO it. Good luck, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.